What's up, guys? Moses here, and I'm gonna be talking about these pedals that I have with me. They're tuners, and I'm gonna start off with this one. I have a TC Electronic Polytune 3, $100 at a Guitar Center, Sweetwater, whatever you want to get it. I sell it off of eBay or Reverb. They work good, but I feel like these things are kind of built a little bit cheaply. I mean, they are $100, but I'm gonna explain to you what I kind of didn't like with these things. But they're fine. They work fine. I guess that's the most important part. So here's the box that it came with. It's pretty standard. And the manual. Just to let you guys know what was inside and how the box looked like. It was okay. I like manuals like this because they're pretty easy to read, straightforward. They're not a little, squared and you fold it. It's like a whole map to the fucking world. And the other pedal, no, the other tuner that I do have is the TC Electronic clip-on. Now, it didn't come like this. I did this myself, and I'm going to explain to you why it looks like this and why I don't really like using these things, and why I'll probably tell people to not get anything like this compared to like the pedal or the big boy version, right? So first, I'm going to be talking about this one. I'm going to be demonstrating it as well. By holding in my hands, the chassis is pretty, I guess it seems hard, but it kind of really isn't. I just dropped it from this little table, and now there's like a ding right there. It didn't even fall that hard. But then again, why would you ever? No, that's my dumbass just dropped it by accident. But just to let you know, if you were to drop it, you could expect like things like this. Thankfully, the screen didn't crack, but yeah, that's about it. Um, they feel nice. I mean, you're not necessarily gonna fondle with this thing. You're just gonna plug it in and check your tuning. But yeah, the chassis is it feels like a little bit robust. But yeah, if it dings this easily, then you know, just keep that in mind. I'm gonna be opening the back to show you guys how this thing looks. I know there's somebody that gets off of stuff like this, but here's the back for the compartment for the 9-volt battery. And if you see those little two switches, those are for true bypass and buffered bypass options, if that's something you're into. I keep it at true because I'm just going to tune this thing. I don't know what else you could use this for, but that's about it. Alright, so now I have it turned on and hooked up to my Aristides 7 string. And there's two, I don't know if you guys can see that. There's two power inputs, or input and an output. So what you could do is just if daisy chain this pedal, and it will kind of work as a little bit of a power supply from what the manual says. There are drop D tunings on this thing, and capo tunings if that's something you're interested in. The display is pretty good. It's nice and bright. It reads the notes clearly, and I'm just gonna demonstrate this thing. Hopefully it doesn't fall. So I hear this. I mean, it works good. My problem with tuners in general and the other one is that if you have a 7 string, some of them have a little bit of an issue picking up on that low frequency. But this one looks like it's doing fine. That's the one thing I wanted to demonstrate mostly, is just if you have a 7 string or you do low tunings, it's sometimes a little harder to read with some tuners that are out there, but this one is doing fine. But yeah, this is good. Now I'm going to be talking about this little thing right here. And of course, I don't know if you have this. Not to talk shit about this, but here's mine. Again, this did not come like this. When I bought this, I think a year or two ago, I stopped using it obviously, but I dropped it from my guitar a few times, and it started to have this persistent issue where the power button no longer works, or sometimes it would work on itself. But the only way to get this thing going is if you press this thing hard as hell, then it's working. You let it go and that's done. I tried many batteries. They're like the 1032 batteries, the ones that go on your car, car key or whatever. These things are, they've pissed me off for a long time. See, I'm trying to click on this thing and it's not working until I press it. Let me see if I could do it with one hand. See, it's not even working now. You have to give it a good press, give it a good push to get it going. And this tape was to make it tighter to get it working. It did work for a little bit, but no, you can only do so much before this thing starts to croak. And I think this is what it's doing now. I just gave up on this. This thing is very cheap. The plastic feels very cheap. Uh, these grips right here. I've noticed with a lot of the guitars I have, these things slip off pretty easily. I'm like 5'8", and my guitar is, I don't know, probably up here standing up. And it falls, well, when it falls, if it falls, you got like a good 3-4 lives on this thing before it starts having this issue. I don't know. I'm just speaking out of my experience. Maybe yours is different, but a lot of people leave reviews on Amazon and other pages talking about this thing, and they say the same thing. These things are pretty cheap. Maybe I should have been more careful. I did kind of fuck this up myself out of frustration, but at that point that issue was just consistent, and I just had to give up on this thing. Just to show you guys this thing one more time. You press it, you let go. Now you're not gonna be crazy enough to actually use this where you clip it onto a headstock. You press it and then you hit the string and you try to tune it, but nah. I would just say, even though these things are like 40-50 bucks, I would just get something like this where it's just, yeah, 100 bucks, well, $50 more, but it'll end up being better. But this thing is it kind of did piss me off, just that ding already. But you know, I'm just kind of clumsy. Well, you know, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, it was kind of pretty basic and bare bones, but just to give you guys a demonstration on the Polytune and why you should probably avoid this. But yeah, if you have any of these pedals, let me know what you guys think of them. Anything better there is, but for 100 points, $100, it's fine. But yeah, I'm more interested in what you guys have to say about this. I mean, yeah, I was pretty dumb and I just got pissed off at this thing, but let me know what you guys think. So yeah, take it easy.